Hello aspirants, welcome back to Where IAS. So in our series of discussion on Indian polity, we had started with fundamental rights. So in fundamental rights, it is important to know the meaning of rights, and also we must know the difference between right and privilege. And next, it is important to understand about the constitutional rights and also the statutory rights. The importance and characteristics of fundamental rights is also to be studied. We had already covered all these topics in our previous video lectures. While studying about the classification of fundamental rights, we studied that there are 6 fundamental rights. That is, first is right to equality, second we have right to freedom, third we have right against exploitation, next we have right to enjoy our religion, that is right to freedom of religion. Next we have is cultural and educational rights. So for the violation of rights, we go to courts and seek the remedies. So these remedies are itself considered as fundamental rights under Article 32. So right to constitutional remedies is the 6th fundamental right. We already studied right to equality and right to freedom. That is right to equality from Articles 14 to 18 and right to freedom from Article 19 to 22 we had already covered in our previous video lectures. Now let's study the third fundamental right, that is right against exploitation, which covers Article 23 and 24. Firstly, Article 23. Article 23 has got 2 clauses. Article 23 clause 1 is prohibiting, that is it is banning or it is saying no to 2 things. First is human trafficking and the second is bonded labor including beggar, that is the forced labor. So here the meaning of human trafficking is to be understood. Human trafficking means trading in humans as material goods. It is simply nothing but buying and selling of humans like material goods. So it is saying it is prohibiting this human trafficking. And also the second thing it is prohibiting is bonded labor including beggar. So bonded labor is a forced labor, that is you are forced to work against your will. That is the meaning of forced labor. And here the meaning of beggar is that is working without any remuneration. So that is the meaning of beggar. So it is prohibiting even beggar and also the forced labor. So here Article 23 clause 1 it prohibits 2 things. First is human trafficking and the second is bonded labor including beggar. Next we have is Article 23 clause 2. Article 23 clause 2 is giving a exception. That is, if a state is imposing any compulsory service, yes it is compulsion, but still it is not considered as a bonded labor. So it is telling Article 23 clause 2 simply says compulsory service imposed by state is not bonded labor. Compulsory service in the sense it can be any social service or it can be any military service that the state imposes for which state is not obligatory to pay anything. So for all these compulsory services it is not treated as bonded labor. So that is the exception to Article 23. Here Article 23 simply has got 2 clauses. The first clause it is prohibiting human trafficking and bonded labor including the beggar, and second clause of Article 23 it says the compulsory state service shall not be considered as bonded labor. This is about Article 23. Next we have is Article 24. Article 24 it is regulating child employment. So who is a child then? That is child that is aged below 14 years is considered as child, and the employment of children is prohibited here. That is, it says Article 24 says no child below 14 years can be employed in factories, mines and other hazardous industries. So it is simply prohibiting child employment in hazardous industries. So which are those industries classified as hazardous is listed under Child Labour Regulation Act, and also this act imposes the penalty for the child employment. So this is about Article 24. It is only saying about the hazardous industries, whereas if the children is doing any kind of work in non-hazardous industries, it can be in any entertainment industries, then that is allowed. So here it is to be understood that child employment is prohibited with respect to the hazardous industries. So this completes right against exploitation, which includes Article 23 and Article 24. We shall study in later video lectures we shall study about the other fundamental rights. For more videos keep watching Where IAS, and also please subscribe, share Where IAS.